Hey everybody, this is Regan Adams with All Things Regan. So my camera is going to look a little bit crazy. I apologize for that. My tripod just broke and I actually had the video recorded, but I got to record it again. So sorry, but that was beyond my control. So I'm going to talk really quick, try to, and get this over with. But anyway, so Regan says I got to get my life together. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a brief overview today, and then Monday through Friday every morning I'm going to do a short video on what I'm doing to intentionally work on my life to get back on track. So what prompted this? Probably a month ago, because I've been out of town like a lot and my house is like off balance. I need things to be done in the house, and it's just a lot of stuff that needs to be done. My daughter is feeling like she's off track. Like everything to me is just off track. And I am a type A personality. Google it. I like to be in control of every aspect of my life. And when it's not like that, I'm frazzled. And when I'm frazzled, I'm reactive. When things happen, I'm not in front of it. And I don't like to not be in front of it and not be prepared. So I'm working diligently on getting back on track and making sure that I'm trying to stay in front of everything, so I'm ready and I'm prepared and not being reactive when things, happen. So what I did was I canceled, what you've heard me talk about if you watch my videos, I've canceled all of my events for this year and I've moved them to next year, but I've also kind of added to and just kind of tweaked a few events that I'm going to have. I'm also concentrating on, I have several businesses that I get paid off of every month, and they're online businesses. So I'm concentrating now on growing those so I can eventually come off of my job. That is the main goal. So, and I haven't been doing all I can do to do that. I keep telling my friend, like, man, I got to concentrate on this. And she was like, but you just need to find time to do it. And where I've been so busy moving around, I have not intentionally sat down and worked on it like I need to. I did a little bit this weekend though, but I have a lot to do. So canceling trips, I've been having to do that too, just kind of sitting still, making sure that my daughter is stable, that I'm not gone so much that she's like, where's my mom? Just to make sure that there is stability in the household. So I have work that needs to be done to my house and my rental property. I want to buy another house. I mean, it's just a lot. So I said I need to take a step back and organize my thoughts, organize what needs to be done, what's most important to the least. So that's what I'm going to be talking to you guys about. Well, today's the overview, Monday through Friday, about the steps I'm going to be taking to get my life back on track, making sure my relationship with God, it feels like it's a mess. I'm just kind of in and out. That's definitely not a way to be, because he leads and guides me into everything pertaining to everything in my life. So when I'm not consulting with him and when I'm not connected to him, everything is just going to be a mess anyway. But that's just me. So today's sermon, that's what I'm going to be talking about this week. But I did want to kind of throw in today's sermon. So my pastor was talking about fear. And man, this really hit home to me. There is something that I've been wanting to work on. God told me to do it last year. Like, he gave me the name, he gave me everything, and I didn't do it because it was such an undertaking. And when I say comfort zone, I would have been stretched all out of whack. It was a mess. And I'm like, Lord, if I do this, and I guess for me, I like to work in excellence. I don't want to do anything halfway. You're not going to know. If my name is on it, it got to be right. But then this thing that he told me to do, it's like, man, it's going to impact a lot of people, but I got to have my stuff together. And he knows that I don't want to be a hypocrite. He knows, if I'm telling you, you got to do this, I got to make sure that I'm doing it before I tell you to do it. And so not only did I have to create this thing, but I had to make sure that I was lined up too. And that was an undertaking, let me tell you. But it's like, it's in my heart to do. He gave it to me, but it's going to be a lot of work. But why? I mean, nothing comes easy, right? So you got to do it, right? And he already showed me, Reagan, you're going to be a fisher of men. There are people that are dependent on you. There are people that are listening to you and that are looking to you for advice, and they like how you move. So I need you to do this, because if they don't hear from me, you're going to be the avenue for them to hear from me, to do what I need them to do and you to do. So what are you doing? And I'm like, I don't want to do it, Lord. Like, I want to do it, but I want it to be easy. Well, everything is not easy. Yes, it's a lot to do. Absolutely. The way my mind works, I'm such a visionary. Like, sometimes I can't even enjoy. My pastor pointed this out to me. Sometimes I can't even enjoy being in the moment of one of my other events because I'm thinking of something else. And you know, there's some things that I want to open. I'm telling you, I would choke somebody if I told you everything that was in my mind to be able to do, like a community type center. Like, it's so big and it's such an undertaking. It's ridiculous. But what one of my friends, business friends, was telling me, Coach, she was like, look, I know how you think. She said, but you're going to have to condense it down. Condense it down and look at, I know it looks like an elephant, but just take small chunks. And so that's what I'm doing, is taking small chunks. And you've probably heard me even talk about, you know, resetting, but I'm telling you, we always have to reset and go back to the basics and see what we need to do to make sure that we're on the right track. And the bottom line is, and I know this because I say it all the time, our lives are not just for us. Our lives are for other people. There are other people that are dependent on you and what you have in you to be able to live, move, and move around. I have a friend, for example, and I don't know if he's going to watch this, but hey, I'm not going to call your name. Uh-oh, I got to hurry up because my phone's about to go dead. So I was talking to him last week, and when I look at him, I see greatness. Like, I've been watching him for a while, and just how he moves. He's very mild-mannered. He has a quiet, he's like a man, but it's real quiet. It's not like it's, I don't know, almost like a lion, I'm gonna say. Can be very well respected, just intelligent, has a lot of different life skills, is a nurturer, loves children. I love his story. I love people's story. Like, that's just my thing. I can see, if you've been through something, you know, you're overcome by the word of your testimony. Listen, when you have hardships and you come through hardships, those stories are not just for you. When you learn something, that can be a tool. But he's just very intelligent, I mean, and I see him so big and doing great, big things. And he's a visionary as well. And then I look at him like, man, what are you doing? Like, why have you not like, you've started, but what are you doing? Like, and what our pastor was talking about is time. The enemy makes you think that you have time to do stuff. Like, oh, I got plenty of time, and you don't. Like, if God gave you something in your mind to help somebody, do it. And I'm talking to myself. Like, I'm not fussing at you, I'm talking to myself. Do it. Like, what are you waiting on? You keep talking about, well, I wrote this down, but you ain't busted a move. Talking to myself, because God gave me something last year, and I have not done anything. Like, I started and then I stopped because I was like, this is too much. This is too much. Nobody's going to understand it. But I'm telling you, with my experience, and I know this, like, I know this to be true, so I don't even know why. Well, I do know why, because it was a lot of work. It is a lot of work. But I got to do it. But what I know to be true is, anytime that I've started something and I put my mind to it, no matter how much work it was a success. And so I'm saying that to you. What is it that you have in your heart that God has given you to help? Because most of the time, if there's something that God has given you, it's beyond you anyway. It's beyond you anyway, and you're going to need his help to get it accomplished. And the good thing is about it, how God works, is he's going to put people in your path to make sure that that thing is carried out. Ask me how I know. So it's going to be bigger than you. If you just needed you, that would be something you got. But if you can look back at your life and say, what life experience have I had that other people can learn from me? There's people who trust you. There's some people that you can tell things to and they be like, yep, just because you said it, I'm going to believe it. Huh? God knows that. So it's time to get to work. There was something else I wanted to say really, really quick. And I was going to post about this. If you are in a relationship, and I got to hurry because this phone is about to go out. If you're in a relationship or a marriage, one thing that I found like 5 years, 6 years into my marriage is that we're all called to do something. Like marriage, yes, it's not a testament. It is a ministry. So yes, we should have something together, but we should have some things apart as well. I can't just be we with my husband. I was an I before I got with my husband. There was some set things that God had me already in mind for me to do before I got with my husband. And so same thing for him. So I cannot stifle anything that God put his hand on to say, because you're going to be gone from me for a long time, I don't want you to do this. I don't want God to look at me and be like, you like I had my hand on your husband to be able to do X, Y, and Z, but because you were insecure and because you didn't want to let him go and leave and do those things, he didn't do them, so he didn't live up to his full potential. I dare not want God to say that about me. So in your relationships, make sure if you have a mate that has gifts, please water them. Please speak life into them. Don't stifle what God put in them. With my husband, he, like, you think I'm an entrepreneur, like his mind is, you've heard me talk about it, like he can come out, we can talk about business and ideas for hours. Matter of fact, we have just this past week, I think it was like 2 hours straight, we were just talking business stuff and all the things that he wants to do. And I can't stifle that, and some of that stuff has to do with me, but some of it doesn't. There's some things that interest him that don't interest me, but I dare not say I don't want you to do that because that doesn't have anything to do with me. Absolutely not. Because God may have spoken something into him, and I don't want to get in the way of that. So if you have a mate who is, like I said, has a business idea or something in them, a ministry, a nonprofit, or anything, speak life into them, especially if it's a man. Especially if it's a man. My husband would, and we've always said this, how will I know if you don't tell me? That is, how will I know if you don't tell me you love me, if you're proud of me, if you're happy that I'm providing for the household, if I look good, just anything. Make sure that you speak life into your partner, because they don't know. Men are like women, not like women, but like women. They have feelings. They have emotions. They may not express them, or not really taught to express them like we do on a regular basis. Because I'm gonna tell you how I feel in 2.3 seconds. But another thing about me, I don't care if it's my husband or if it's somebody else, a man or a woman, and I have to be mindful about the lines and what things that I say. But if I see something in you, I'm going to say it. Man, I love the way you work with children. I love your mind. Sis, I love your dress. Your work ethic is awesome. If I see that, I'm going to speak life into you. And if you have a mate, that just speak life into him, whatever it is. If he's a provider, let him know that. If he's lost some weight, let him know that. If he just got a haircut, man, make a big deal out of it. And my husband, it's so funny because I will do that to my husband, if he gets a haircut or whatever, and he's still very attractive to me anyway, and I'll see him, I'll be like, babe, man, listen here, you look. And he gets so tickled about that and bashful, but I love to see his face when that happens. Anytime I give somebody a compliment, and it's true, because I'm not just going to blow smoke. If I'm giving you a compliment, I'm shooting it real. I'm not just saying something just to make you smile. If I see something and I'm like, man, and most people don't know how to take compliments anyway, and that's for women. That's for people, period. So that's why I love giving compliments. Man, I thank God for you. I tell my friend that all the time, man, what would I do without you? And she gets so shy. Man, what would I do without you? And I mean that. What would I do without you? I thank God for you. But like I said, just going back to my husband or any other boyfriends or whatever that I had or whoever I was dealing with, if I like what I see, I'm going to tell you, man, you look good. Oh my gosh, you are so fine. Man, I love your mind. I love how you move. I love how you dress. You know, I love this. I love that. I love how you think. If there was anything, I always want to be that person to build somebody up. And you should too. If you can't, keep your mouth shut. If you don't know how to build somebody up and to speak into somebody's life, keep your mouth shut. And I'm sorry, I'm still getting over allergies or cold or whatever it was I had. So if I'm sounding nasal and my eyes are runny, I'm sorry. But I just want to make sure that you are a solution to the problem, not hindering, because we have to watch our words. And I know I'm kind of going off into something else, but I just feel led to talk about this. You have to watch your words when you're dealing with people. Especially men, and I've seen it. I've dealt with it. You have to watch your words. And I know sometimes, and I've posted about this with men and feelings. Men have feelings too, and as women, we are there to cover our husbands with our words, or cover our men with our words. I never want to speak anything negative. And they may not say anything, but they're going to think about it. They're going to internalize it. And then that's going to come out into something else. So we should always be there to build our men up, especially men building our women up. But I'm speaking from a woman's perspective. So just be careful with your words. And if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. If you can't build him up, don't say anything at all. If it's a business idea or a situation, try your best to show support. I know with mine, at first I used to be like, oh my gosh, you doing something else. But now that's my story. Oh my gosh, you doing something else. So I feel him on that. So now be more empathetic towards your man. Be more empathetic towards your friends. Make sure that you are building the people up around you. If you can't, then you need to see what's going on with you, that you can't speak a good word into somebody else. I don't want anybody around me who, for one, can't tell me the truth, and two, can't speak life into me. Because if anybody is attached to me, I'm going to make sure, what is it that you do? What do you do? What do you want to do? Okay, so how can I help you? If I can't help you, then I'm going to say you can do it. You can do all things through Christ, which strengthens you. All things. There's nothing that can't be done, right? So, anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about today. Reagan says, get your life together. I'm so excited. I came in and started moving a lot of different things out of my house. Girl, listen, or girl. I'm thinking I'm talking about if a man is listening, cool. I'm excited about getting my life together, and especially after I heard the sermon today, like I'm ready to just walk, move, and breathe in faith and do the thing that God called me to do. I'm ready to make an impact in people's lives. I'm ready for the people that he's attaching me to, and I'm just for the people that he's bringing to me to speak life into them, and making sure that they are living their best life and that they're impacting who they need to impact. And that's who I want to be. I want to be that person who's going to make sure that they walk and do everything that God has called them to do, right? So anyway, I'm going to hop off here. allthingsreagan.com. My Jamaica trip is sold out, but there is a waiting list. If you want to go, ladies, just inbox me and I'll put you on the waiting list. I have some really good things coming forward. I'm excited about life. I'm excited about the direction that my family and myself are going in. And I've never said this before, but there's a lot of work that needs to be done. But I'm with it. Like I'm ready just to take it a bit at a time and get it done. And if you want to connect with me, just inbox me. I'm here. But I'm excited. I feel really, really good today about what God is going to do in my life and the people who he's going to connect me to, or that are already connected to me. And just watch your words. I can't say that enough. Your words can hurt or help. And I don't want to be that one that you came into contact with and said, Reagan, her words hurt. Because if that's the case, then I'm just not going to say anything to you, right? So anyway, allthingsreagan.com. I have my Firebrand t-shirt on. I had to work up front, but that's such a blessing that I'm entrusted to even be up there. So I'm very appreciative of that. And allthingsreagan.com. If you want to connect with me, please do. I'll talk to you later. I was about to say allthingsreagan.com. On all platforms, Facebook, my website, and Instagram. Have a good one. I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.